Shady! Throwing some shade. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see LaShawn McCoy coming off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills as they get set to match up against the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
coming off of a loss their last time out. I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Now it's LaShawn McCoy, first carry against his former Buffalo mates. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, takes some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The numbers last week for Shady McCoy. 24 carries, 83 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's got his man. It's Escobar. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you got to count for on every snap.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this will come up short.
As far as defensive starters go, here they are for Indianapolis. And they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
On second down, Taylor. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Taylor to his big tight end, Clay, for the Buffalo first. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 20 carries, 65 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Dotson with a grab over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
The Bills' passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Taylor. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Seth DeValve, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Caught right side, Tate. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now Smith, hauled in by Anderson, left side. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be a second and long.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Again, Smith. And that is incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And here come the Bills. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The throw by Taylor there, knocked away and incomplete. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Taylor on 3rd down, throws incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Now Smith. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Charles Clay has tied in the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And then he goes with a juke. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They'll try and pick up the 1st with Gurley. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Partner, if you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's caught right side by Anderson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins. Now they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense,
and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Darren Sproles, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Taylor will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Holding offense.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. He dumps off to Morris. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
3rd and long, it's Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And he whips that one incomplete there. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and now it's 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however.
Offside.
Let's see what that's
Defense.
about. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a
Third
whole
down.
lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Play action. Now Taylor. Buying time to his left. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. So they're challenging the spot. If you're a coach, you hesitate to throw the flag anytime it's a spot discernment.
You certainly do because you feel like that's not one you're likely to win.
And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who says signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down. A
good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They go play action now. Taylor. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And some room to roam now. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This give is to McCoy. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. The Colts on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And Taylor's throw there should have been intercepted, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He's going deep for Brown. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Riley Dixon now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Throw right side, complete to Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The veteran Stephon Gilmore able to break that one up.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. And that play didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, it's Smith. Flush to his right. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Here's Smith now on second down. Incomplete. Akello Witherspoon, really good coverage from the Colorado man, getting a hand in on it.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Shedding the tackle. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Smith on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Smith, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. Third down here. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud
a solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. Now Gurley staying down. Well, let's hope he's all right. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They run with Morris. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down, that's Morris. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 2nd down, Taylor's throw incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they...
They'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills are in for 6.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here now, a look look at LaShawn McCoy. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally, and his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax, you don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Golden Tate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And able to find John Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now in Indianapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now Taylor, and it's incomplete. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To throw again is Taylor. And that is incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage.
Well, I've got to give him some credit there. He tried to sell the out route, tried to sell it hard. And as a receiver, what you're really trying to do is maneuver a defender inside to give yourself a little more cushion breaking to the out. But how about the defender reading it really well, not buying the fake or the maneuver inside, and getting to the sideline and helping break up the pass.
They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal. The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Eli Harold with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Taylor. And his throw is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. 2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Taylor will throw. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Michael Bannon coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A 4th quarter score, meanwhile, from Kansas City. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Sproles. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try the air now with Smith. To the right side, complete to Escobar. And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. And Tate's got it. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run it with McCoy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And that's McCoy, who is still down following the play. Appears shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll try and run it now with Sproles. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now Stanton. Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts It's touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. You and I talk a lot about these special teams and how important those can be. That comes into play here. The defense, not very alert.
And this is something you work on all the time as a defender. Always saying, alert, be ready for the fake. But sometimes you fall asleep anyway.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Taylor will bring the Bills up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Steps away to his left. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Al Woods. Never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete. Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. It's complete to Brown, right side. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Play action, now Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Parkey's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game. And on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Sproles. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
He's got it. It's Escobar. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Sproles. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And once again, they go with Sproles. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. He's back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. Back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
He'll look to throw. Ducks into the ground over the middle. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Morris. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Now the Bills will hustle to the line. They'll look to throw. He dumps off to Morris. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the
Automatic
football.
first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Taylor. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Taylor to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. One last shot for Taylor. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end, we win. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming. The Hail Mary, they just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for the Colts, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they dip to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.